1 Samuel chapter 17. New Philistines called up their armies for war, and gathered at Sokol in Judah, setting up camp atween Soka and Azekah, and Ephesus Damimon. Saul and the Israelites gathered anon and set up camp at the Ho o Elah, laying out their lines to face the Philistines. The Philistines stayed on a side o' a hill, and the Israelites on another hill facing them wi' a hoe in atween them. A champion came out fae Philistine camp, a chiel called Goliath, fae Gath. He was abeen 9 feet high. He had a brass helmet, and on his head, and was wearing a coat of mail, made of brass, weighing about nine steen. He had brass greaves on his legs, and a brass targe atween his shoulders. The handle of his spear was like a bar on a wyver's limb. On the iron he'd it weighed 15 pund. A lad carrying a targe gaed on afore him. He steed up and roared to the Israelites' army, saying, "Fit why have ye set yourselves out, ready to fecht? I'm a Philistine. You're just slaves of Saul. Pick your man to come and face me. Gin he can fecht wi' me and kill me, we'll be your slaves. But gin I get the better o' him and kill him, you'll be slaves to his." Syne the Philistine said, "I defy the army o' Israel. Send out the man, and we'll fecht it out." When Saul and a leave o' the Israelites heard this sail they were sair come at, and Guy feared. David was a son o' a chiel called yersel for Bethlehem in Judah, for had 8 sons. In Saul's time he was a fair all age. Jesse's 3 oldest loons had gane wi' Saul to a war. 3 for gaed to a war were Eliab the oldest, niece to him was Abinadab, and a 3rd was Shammah. David was the youngest. T'other 3 followed Saul, but David would gang hame for Saul and mate his father's sheep at Bethlehem. Ilke morning and ilke night for 40 days a Philistine come and steed afore them. Jesse said to his loon, David, "Tak a load of roasting corn, and this 10 loaves, and rin up to a camp wi' them to your brothers. Tak this 10 cheese to their captain. See who your brothers are doing, and fetch back word o' them." Now they were wi' Saul on the lave o' the Israelites, fechting the Philistines at the Ho o Elah. David got up a next morning, left another chiel to look after a sheep, and set out on his errand, as Jesse had bidden him. He come to the lines just as the army was going out to take up their positions and gin out their war cry. The Israelites and the Philistines were drawn up facing een another. David left the provisions he'd brought wi' a quartermaster, ran o'er till the army, and met in wi' his brothers. As he was newsing till them, up come a Philistine champion, Goliath, a chiel for Gath, for out amo the Philistines, and put forward his challenges as he'd done afore. David heard him. When the Israelites saw a child, they took to their heels in Fecht. The Israelites said, "Have you seen a child that's come up? He's come to confound Israel. A king will give a big reward to whoever kills him. He'll give him his daughter's hand in marriage too, and his family'll never hate to work again," says David, till Lord stunning about him. "It'll be done for a child wha kills this Philistine and rids Israel o'er shame. Fa's this uncircumcised Philistine onyway, that he should put the army of the living Almighty to shame. And if folk told him that the lad wha killed him would get." His oldest brother heard David speaking to the men, and got raised at him and said, "What did you come down here for? Why have you left to look after a sheep in the rock country? I ken that you're here. I ken that you're like, you impudent wretch. You've just come down to watch a fechting." And David said, "What have I done now? Can I nae even speir fit's happening?" And he turned the wa him till another lad and box speared him. But they all told him the same thing. Saul got to hear of it David had said, and sent for him. David said to Saul, "Dinna be downhearted ower that Philistine. I'll gang and fecht him." And Saul said to David, "You're nae fit to gang up again is Philistine and fecht wi' him. You're just a loon. He's been a soldier all his days." And David said to Saul, "When your servant is looking after his father's sheep, and a lion or a bear comes and talks a wild lammy for a flock, I'll gang after it, strike it, and save a lammy for its jaws. And gin it turn on me, I'll grab it by the throat and kill it. I've killed both lions and bears, and I'll just think o' this uncircumcised Philistine like een o' them, seeing as he's putting the armies of the living Almighty to shame." David continued, "A maester wha keepeth me safe for a paw lion, and a paw bear will keep me safe for a hand o' this Philistine." And Saul said to David, Go on, you gang then, and let the maester be with you." Saul put his armor on o' David, put the breast helmet on o' his head, and gied him a coat of mail. David strapped Saul's sword o'er the armor, but he doggled to mean it, 'cause he hadna tried them out. David said to Saul, "I canna gang wi' this, 'cause I've never used them afore," and he took them off. He picked up his stick and chose 5 smooth stones for a burn, and put them into a pouch o' his shepherd's baggie, took his sling on his hand, and drew o'er to where a Philistine was standing. A Philistine came o'er nearer hand to David. A chill wheel charged gang on afore him. When a Philistine looked about him and saw David, he had a great laugh, 'cause he was just a red-cheeked, one-faced loon. Says the Philistine to David, "Am I a tyke that you come after me with sticks?" And he swore at him in the name of his Almighty. And the Philistine said to David, "Come on, and I'll give you your flesh to birds and the bees." Sign David said to a Philistine, Ye come at me wi' a sword, and a spear, and a torch, but I come to ye in the name o' a Master o' hosts, Almighty o' the armies o' Israel, at ye've putten to shame. A Master's young to deliver ye into my hands a day. I'll strick ye doon, and tak a heed for ye. I'll gie ye carcasses o' Philistine soldiers to birds and beasts to eat. And all the world will ken there's an Almighty in Israel. And all the folk here will see that the Master doesna save wi' a sword and spear. A Fecht is a Master's, and he'll put you all in our hands. Sif it happened, was that the Philistines started to come at David again. David ran at him to take him on. He put his hand in his baggie and drew out the sting, fired it at the Philistine with his sling, and struck him on the brow. He fell all his length on the ground. Said David got the better of Philistine with a sling and a sting, striking him and killing him, and nae a sword in his hand. David ran up to a Philistine, steed over him, took his sword, drew it out of a scabbard, finished him off, and hacked off his head with it. When the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they took to flight. And men of Israel and Judah let out a roar and chased the Philistines till they were down to the hoe of the yersel of Ekron. There was wounded Philistines lying at the side of the road, all way to Sharman, and as far as Gath and Ekron. The Israelites come back to chasing after the Philistines and plundered their tents. David took a Philistine's head to Jerusalem, but he left his weapons in his tent. When Saul saw David going out to face the Philistines, he said to Abner, a commander of his army, Abner, see that loon there? Whose son is he? And Abner said, As sure as I'm here, your majesty, I dinna ken. And the king said, Go on and find out whose loon a Berkey is. As David was coming back for killing the Philistine, Abner took him to Saul with a Philistine's head, still in his hand. And Saul said to him, Whose son are ye, my loon? And David said, I'm a son of your servant Jesse for Bethlehem.